Gintare, and today I've got an amazing guest, Natalia. I'm so grateful to have you, Natalia, but I would like you to introduce yourself to our community. So tell us who you are and what does your personal brand stand for?
So my name is Natalia Macuk. I am 29 years old, at the moment living in Holland, but I'm moving very soon to Brazil. And the reason is because Gintare also said I'm building a brand, and my brand is to help people basically love themselves again, and so they can design a dream life. So there are so many people that are in a dark place, and I know that because I've been there. And I don't want nobody else to feel that way. So I decided to go full time and do anything in my power to help those people. That's my brand.
I really wanted to be you to be my first guest on these interviews because I'm admiring your brand. It comes so much from the heart, and I love what you stand for and how much you help people. Maybe you could share with us how was your personal brand born?
Thank you, first of all. I really feel so honored to hear all those words. So a year and a half ago, I got a burnout. So I have depression. I don't like to put it in a box, but I had depression my entire life, and I always pushed it away. 6 years ago, I decided I need to fight for it, accept the fact that I have it, and learn to deal with it. So I did that till a year and a half ago, and then I realized that I was totally burned out, had nothing left, and I was at the point that I said, if this is life, I really don't want it anymore. And I tried to play suicide many times because I just didn't see how to get out of this dark hole, as I called it. And that's how I found SFM. And initially I thought, like many of the members, if I go to the SFM, I get financial freedom and then I'm happy. Like all the problems are solved. And very soon I realized that it's more than that. It's self-development, self-awareness. And I was shocked because I started it already and I didn't know that it had so much power. So the past year I've been very dedicated in loving myself again. And I think it was like 6 months ago, I was at Momentum Day. That's a day when a lot of people come together for SFM and learn a lot. And there was a couple, Mitch and Jordy, they were telling about their brands and that they don't want to do it anymore for the finance and really want to enjoy life every second. And that was me. I was like, yeah, this is not for the money. It doesn't feel good. I feel like there is more. And I started thinking, and there's one thing I always do in my entire life, and that's giving and giving and giving. And it's always been in the back of my mind that I want nobody to feel this way. And that's why I always made sure that other people felt good. And I forgot myself. So I decided to build something, a community where I can do that. And I really didn't believe I could. I was very fearful, but when you feel a calling for something, it's gonna happen. And since I'm doing it, I feel like I'm fulfilled, and the joy that I get from people when they hear my experiences and when they see that somebody understands them, that's for me like the reason how it all started. And
so for those who don't know what SFM is, it's just a community of people who support each other, a community of entrepreneurs and mentors as well. So it's like a paid program where you get the whole support and guidance. So Natalia is a part of that. I've been for quite a longer part of that. It's nice. It's really good place to be in. And Natalia, like if you were in the place where you almost committed a suicide, and it seems like it was a really dark place, and I just wanted to ask you, just in case some people are in that place and feel lost, I just wanted to ask you, what gave you strength to actually, rise up and come back?
I wish I had a very powerful answer for you, like courageous, inspiring. But the truth is, I am just too afraid to do it. Yeah, that's the truth. So I tried many ways to do something without that it's painful, because it is painful, and there is no way to do it without being painful. So that's why I never really push it, because I was too afraid. Plus, also, I really believe the pain that you do to the people that you leave behind, that's just terrible. And that's a thing I have since I was young. I somehow always resonate with the feelings of others and really don't want to hurt anybody. So for me, the feeling of hurting my parents, hurting my loved ones, was also very terrible. But deep down inside, I believe I always thought there was more. So I kept dreaming. And that was even painfuler. If I think about it, I even want to tear up. Because you keep dreaming and you're thinking like there is more to it. This cannot be it. Look at everybody being happy. But also the reason why I got there actually is because I came to Holland when I was young and I didn't fit in. So I was not a Dutch person, but I was also not like a foreigner person because my stepdad was Dutch. So which one am I? And somehow already from that moment, I was always searching for that happiness. And then I looked at people, what is happiness for them? And then I saw high grades and I tried that, and accessible stuff like new iPhone or something. And that wasn't it either. And I think when you create that space from yourself that you don't fit in, it's getting darker and darker every time. And then you only see the negativity. Also, I think a big part actually is my mom. That she was the only one that always said, like, don't be so crazy. You are perfect the way you are. And always when I complained about myself, what I did to her as a teenager, she's like, what are you talking about? You're just a child. And I never agreed with her. I was like, okay, you're just saying it to be nice. But that gave me a little feeling like, okay, maybe I am good enough. So why didn't I do it? Sadly enough, because I was afraid, but also to think about other people's. Yeah.
So it feels for me from your answers that the belief in your heart and the love for other people, and the love from other people to you, actually saved you and helped you to create this beautiful path later on. So I think it's important to understand, like, even little love moments that you share with other people, it's so important. And if you love someone, it's a beautiful thing, and it can create beautiful things in the world.
Beautiful said that. Yeah, I never really realized that, but now you sum that up. Yeah, definitely.
Nice. So going further, I just wanted to ask you, for someone, who is just starting their brand, could you share with us your strategic plans from the moment when you started and when you went? So what did you do first? How did you get to the point where you actually have a clear brand and who you are and what you stand for?
I think in the beginning, you really have to look at your values and what is important in your life. Then really look at what the person you are. So if you really look deep into you, you will already see what you want to do in life, what your purpose is. When you figure that one out, you have to look at what is my ideal audience. So with what kind of person do I want to work with? And what are their pain points? What do they want in life? And really, like, what can I offer them? It's a lot of questions in the beginning that you have to answer, a lot of researching also. I did a lot of looking what other people provide. And when you have that all figured out, what I then did is I actually started on the top. I looked, what do I want to achieve? So where do I want to go? So what kind of brand do I want? What community do I want? How do I want to flow it? What do I want to provide? And that's what I wrote down. So I wrote down what I wanted to do on YouTube. I wrote down what I wanted to do on Instagram and also on my private community on Facebook. When you have that down, I went down. Okay, how can I connect them with each other? and then you figure out like strategics, like maybe have the same team throughout everywhere, because then you have one connection. And when I had that, that's when I really started thinking about what kind of content am I going to provide. And for me, I wrote big down for the content. It's a lot about content that will make them love themselves a little bit more and bring awareness. So everything that I then create for the platforms. So I figured out how much I want to do what in each platform. So it's already a plan. I have also the days figured out. Then the last step is just have one goal. And that's for me, content that will always uplift, make them love it themselves, being aware. And then, yeah, have a team helps for me too. So that's how I did it.
Thank you very much for your answer. And you know, it just, I'm studying now about branding quite a lot. And one of the key things is to decide how you want your people, your audience to feel like, and then have the congruency throughout the journey. And it feels you did that so well. It's exactly on the spot. And that's why your branding is like, is just so inspiring, and it is a brand, you know, because there wouldn't be a branding. I struggle to find, you know, people who actually have a true brand, because that's what makes it. If there is no unity in people's hearts, how that brand makes them feel, it's not a good brand yet. And with your brand, I definitely can feel that.
Thank you. I really believe that it also makes a difference for me with other people's brand when you see that they really do it out of love. Because some peoples are so focused on how many followers and how many views, how many clicks, and then you get that robotic feeling from them. For me, it's really important. You can pick them out when somebody does it out of love. That's for me, authenticity. Just be yourself. That's, I think, the most important thing.
No, absolutely, absolutely agree. And Natalia, so could you just give us an insight on what's your vision for your brand? Where do you plan to go further with it?
Good question. So at the moment, I'm starting. I basically have the base form of it. I have the base. But where it goes is actually eventually being a community that uplifts each other and help each other achieve the best version of ourselves. And a little thing that it will come in the future where I'm actually working at is creating an app. So where people really every day bring the awareness to them. So my ideal goal for this is that people can find a place where they don't feel misunderstood or weak, because we live in a society when you tell like, oh, I have post-traumatic stress, I have depression, I have anxiety disorder or whatever, people look at you weird because they don't understand, and they just say, just shake it off, and they don't really realize that it's like not something you have in control. And then it's difficult also for us to talk with somebody because we know already you don't understand me, so it doesn't feel the same. So I really wanted this place to be the place where people can come together and just have to look at each other and we understand you. And the feeling of being understood is the beginning. And then the whole opening of being aware of yourself and realizing how much value you have and really like build with your self-esteem. And that's why I want to create that app at the end, because that will help you every day to be aware of what's going on. You build goals, you keep your successes, you basically every time have positivity to you. I want to create a lifestyle for those people that I created for myself. It's actually everything that I want to do is something I learned myself. And that's definitely something I want to do, because society makes us feel that we are a part of a box and that we need medicine and that we need help and that we are like a disease and a mental illness. And I don't want to do that anymore. I want to just celebrate who we are. Yeah, we have these little differences, but that doesn't make us having a mental illness. We are people. And it's just a little bit different to live with. If that answered your question.
No, absolutely. It's so inspiring. I love hearing about your future plans, and I can't wait to see and use it as well. So, yes, I've got one more final question for you, Natalia, now. And yes, what could you advice for someone who's just starting on their journey, and what would you say it's important to be aware of on this journey when starting to create your own brand, and what you expect?
Yeah, definitely don't rush it, because that was my fault. I rushed it. And don't be afraid, because I'm not gonna lie, every step you take, you think you're not gonna make it and that you're not good enough, or why should people take time to listen to me, or I have no value to give. We all have this problem. It's very fearful when you step out of your comfort zone. We humans like our comfort zone, and to do what you believe in, and be aware of that from the beginning, and manifest that mindset of I am successful, I am valuable enough, and I can do this. And really be aware of that from the beginning. And like I said, don't push it. Everything will happen on the right moment. And don't get frustrated that you set a goal to finish it in a month with your website or whatever. If you want your website done, go to Gintare. But it's just biggest tip: don't rush it. Just really do your research. Go really deep inside what you want, and then just enjoy it and keep believing in yourself. Yeah, that's my advice for somebody that just started.
No, I can absolutely agree with you, because I think if you skip some steps at the beginning, you don't get the foundations right. You will need to come back, or you will hate your brand. So it's like, either way, it's not good. So take as much time as you need at the beginning, get the whole foundations really right. And it's better to go with quality rather than quantity, and to just move forward one step at a time. Of course, have your vision, but just go step by step. So thank you so much for all your shares and advice, and I think that's amazing. And I wish you all the best with your brand as well, going further. And thank you for your inspiration today.
Thank you for having me. Seriously, it means a lot to me. Thank you.
Take care, guys, and see you next time.
Bye.